morning, everyone, and happy Earth Day. I'm Erik Solheim, the head of UN Environment. If there is one question I get often, it's the following. Can I change the world? Does it matter what I do? And my answer to that is always the same. Yes, indeed. Who else will change the world? If you don't start changing the world, who will do it? There is no one else to change the world than us. And what we saw here was the amazing examples of young people changing the world. And let me add a couple of others. The founding father of the nation of Myanmar, Aung San, was 32 when he died. The founding father of the nation of Ireland, Michael Collins, was also 32. Not when he started his career, when he died. And here in the United States of America, Martin Luther King, we tend to see him as an old man. He died at the age of 38. At the age of 28, he was already seen as one of the old men of the civil rights movement, because all the rest, the John Lewis and all the others, were around 20. So yes, indeed, young people can transform the world. Because not all of you can be Martin Luther King or Aung San, but all of you can do something. And let me speak on one of the heroes of today, not of the past. Afro Shah, where are you? You're here. Yeah. Some of you listened to Afros yesterday, but let me tell you very briefly his story. Afros is a young lawyer from Mumbai, India. One day he watched out from his flat, I've been there, at the 10th floor in the building. You can sit down, Afros. At the 10th floor at this building, at the beaches of Mumbai. What did he see? Horrendous plastic pollution. I mean, you haven't seen anything like that. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's at least half a meter thick of plastic pollution at these potentially fantastically beautiful beaches right in the city center of a city of 20 million people. Afro Shah decided to take action. But he did not decide that the first step was to call his member of parliament to ask that person to take action. Afro started mobilizing his neighbor, who was above the age of 80. The two of them went down to the beach, started cleaning it up with their own hands, and then started mobilizing the neighbors. And it didn't take long before there were hundreds and then thousands of people mobilized for the cleanup at the beaches of Mumbai. They have now continued that for more than 80 weekends. Fantastic. Saturdays and Sundays. Not exactly the same all the time, but Afros has been there every time. And then, of course, something very interesting happens. Well, then politicians start taking interest because they see people being mobilized. Then business started being interested. The Plastic Association of India has now decided that they need to do something, because the most important they can do is to invent new and better plastic products, which are degradable or recyclable. But the action of one man with his neighbor has mobilized a fantastic snowball effect. It may not be the right term because there is never snow in Mumbai, but still, the ball is rolling. What we want to announce today is a Young Champions of the World scheme. We do it UN Environment with our partners in Covestro, a German company which is in the spearheading environmental change. And we want to launch a Young Champions of the World award. We want to pick people from all continents. There will be 6 winners, but there will be 30 people brought into this scheme. All these people will get, they will get some support, some mentoring as to how to empower their ideas. They will get, the 6 winners will get financial support to put their ideas into action. And they will be brought to Germany for training. And at the end of the day, they will be brought to the UN Environment Assembly, which takes place in Nairobi, Kenya, at the end of the year, also to present their ideas. What we are really after are the people with the big ideas, the Elon Musks or the Afro Shahs. We do not expect every idea to be a success. Let's accept also failures, because if you want to have the good ideas, there will also be some ideas which fails. But from those failed ideas, we will learn, we will grow, and maybe the person who failed in his first idea will be the person who really sets out a new and better idea and transform the world. But we are after the big ideas which will transform the world and the big ideas from all continents, and we want young people who are normally the innovators to come up with these ideas. So please look into our website. Please look into your own heart. Maybe you are a champion, young champion of the earth. Maybe if it's not you, maybe it's your friend, someone you know of, someone in another part of America, or someone in another part of the world. Please come forward with suggestions, and we will have a screening process to pick the winners. It's open today. That today is the starting date. There are 2 months for you to consider this, and we are so happy if we can get many applications from China, from India, from Africa, and right here from Washington, D.C. We want champions from all continents, all parts of the world, and for sure, girls and boys, young men and young women. The best political slogan ever invented, in my view, was invented not by a politician, but by business, and it says, just do it. Just do it, just go into the website and propose people.